Mark, 4 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 3 minutes until airtime. Mark, 3 minutes until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue comes with 2 minutes until airtime. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 1 minute until airtime. Mark, network stations, we are 1 minute until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Studios, please start your archive recording. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues during today's broadcast, please call the Appalachian State Studio Hotline at area code 336-831-0827. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter any issues during the broadcast, please call the App State Studio Hotline at 336-831-0827. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
This is Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge and hosted at River Street Ale House on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield. Your weekly inside scoop on App State basketball. Mountaineer Talk is also brought to you by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward together. Now, to get things started, here's your host, Matt Present.
Happy Monday. Welcome to Mountaineer Talk. Thanks so much for joining us here this evening at River Street Ale House or wherever you're tuned in at Facebook Live or on the radio. Xavion Brown alongside to kick off our show here this evening. If you've got a question for him or any of our guests tonight, You can send it to us on Twitter using the hashtag Mountaineer Talk. You can also email the show, mountaineertalk@gmail.com, or text or leave a voicemail, 828-295-2063. We'll also have a trivia question coming up later in the show to give you a chance to walk away with 4 tickets to both men's basketball games this week. That will be answered on the Facebook live stream on appstatesports.com. Xavion, how you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Can't complain.
All right, your team's coming off a big week on the road. Just talk about the way you guys have been playing this season, and in particular, I mean, you were talking about it earlier. It's tough to win on the road. What is it that has allowed you guys to do that so well this year?
I'd just say, having a one-game approach at a time. The chemistry on this team is completely crazy. Everybody likes each other. Everybody hangs out with each other. You can tell everybody has the same common goal of winning, and no hidden agendas. So it's been pretty fun.
When did you know the chemistry would be like that?
I would definitely say as soon as everybody met up right here in the summer, like when everybody got on campus, you could tell, the aura from everybody was different. You could tell everybody wanted to be here, everybody wanted to get better, and everybody wanted to be in the gym. So everybody clicked right then and there with that, and everybody was just, one family with that afterwards.
You and I were just talking a moment ago about your defense. When did you know in your life in playing basketball that would be your calling card?
I would definitely say earlier in my life, like more so around middle school, because there's a lot of people that, that always want to score the ball or always want to have, to be the star player. But I learned from an early age from my mom that there's not going to be everybody on the team that's gifted at scoring. So you got to find something that's different for you, or you got to find a way to be different from everybody else. So my mom was just emphasizing, find something that you could be great at. And she was like, defense, because you're quick and, you're not going to grow as much as anybody else is. So I was like, well, we'll figure that out.
Speaking of your defense, who do you watch? Who do you emulate? What do you pick up from some of the guys that are either playing elsewhere in college or in the NBA that are elite defenders that you try to incorporate into your own game?
I'd definitely say the Tony Allens, the Marcus Smarts, even Shane Battier. Those guys have different, gears when it comes to defense, and they have different mindsets. So you can always, nitpick at what they do defensively and how they, affect the game in multiple ways that way.
On the offensive end, you've been known to throw down a dunk or two.
Something like that.
This weekend at Marshall, you had back-to-back dunks during a second-half run. Did you feel in the moment the energy that your team gets when you dunk it home like that?
Definitely. You could feel the mood shift. You could feel the, change when everybody's yelling and everybody gets up, because sometimes it's expected, sometimes it's not. So you can always tell that that's momentum shifters for us, and that helps us out definitely. So it's a good thing to have, obviously. But
do you have a favorite dunk during your time at App State?
Favorite dunk? Probably would be JMU against Friedel when I was in the post and I just spun off and went to go dunk it.
Okay. There was another play at Old Dominion on Thursday night that, at least in my opinion, was as impressive, if not more so, than any of your dunks, and that was a one-handed interception. Take us through that play and maybe relate it to your football career in high school a little bit.
Definitely didn't see the ball coming. I was running back on defense, and I was trying to figure out where everybody was out on the court and to figure out, what scenario was going to play out. And I turned my head to see where the ball was at to make sure it wasn't past me. And I looked up, and the ball's in the air. And I was like, well, that's not a lob. I hope not. And my instincts just went up and jumped and grabbed it. So.
But you played some defensive back in high school?
Yeah, I played DB and safety all the way up until probably about high school when I decided to, just focus on basketball strictly. But let my mom tell it I was better at that sport than this. So.
All right. Speaking of your family, you're a West Coast guy, grew up in Sacramento. How did App State originally get on your radar?
Pretty simple. Coach Kerns immediately texted me and called me and was like, we would love to have you here. I mean, we can't believe you're not picked up yet. And, obviously, I'm grateful for him for everything he's done for me and just giving me the opportunity to be able to play. So COVID was a rough year, obviously not having the state championship game and obviously having our season cut short, but that didn't stop him from, going out and looking for me.
And you had an opportunity not to play next door to home, but to get back to the West Coast this year as the team played Oregon State in the non-conference. What was that experience like, just to get back out west and be closer to family?
It felt good. Obviously, it's always good to go back home, but anything close to home, West Coast is obviously the best coast in my eyes. But just being able to go back home and, be able to be on the same time frame as everybody else and, get to have people watch me, whether it was in person or through the TV, felt good again.
You and I were talking a little bit ago about all the different sports you consume. How much of that is just the fact that you would wake up on the West Coast at 9 a.m. and there'd be games on already?
It was a lot. Obviously, if I'm not playing on the weekends or if I'm not doing anything of that sort, my mom and I would just wake up and watch anything. Like, she used to love the Olympics. She used to watch that heavily. So, like, anything with Olympics, she would watch. Sometimes there would be, like, hockey, but I was like, I need a purpose to actually run, and a basketball was perfect for that. So
fair enough. What is it about the East Coast and about Boone in particular that you've embraced most during your time here?
I would definitely say just the feeling of, everybody helping me out and making me feel like this was my home. Obviously, going across the world is not easy for everybody, obviously. So being able to come here and it feels like I didn't leave home because everybody welcomes me and everybody makes sure that I feel like I'm at home, it's comforting. So it feels like a home away from home.
That's awesome. Question here on the Facebook live stream from Neil Higgins. How does it make you feel when Coach says to go shut down the leading scorer on the other team?
I feel like, it's a target on my back, obviously. Not from him, obviously, just in general, because everybody looks at me as, okay, now that he's supposed to be one of the better defenders, I have to show that he's not. So it feels good to know that he has confidence in me to do that, and he has faith in me to be able to do that and to start me that way, to do that. It's a privilege.
You talk about starting, and Coach has talked about it all season. This team has a group that's got 9 starters effectively, but what is your mentality starting the game and knowing what kind of stamp you can put on it with the way you begin the game defensively?
I would just say nothing easy for anybody. Obviously, I know what I'm capable of athletically, so I use that gift to be able to show another person, obviously on the opposite team, that it's not going to be an easy night for you, and everything you're going to have to, try and do is going to be worked for, so you're going to have to earn every bucket you get or every shot attempt you get at least.
You talk about that challenge, and this season has been full of that. It's not been easy, right? Every team has given you their best shot. You've got 2 more regular season games at home, and then obviously a lot to play for beyond that. Just how would you describe your mindset, the team's mindset during this stretch run?
I would say we're locked in for sure. We're connected, and it feels like a brotherhood, obviously. Everybody seems to be, on edge, more so for other teams, obviously, because other teams have, thoughts of what's going to happen in the future, but we're always in the moment, and we make sure that we, have everybody on the same mindset and the same, wavelength of just play this one game, and everything else will take care of itself. Then go to the next day, practice. That'll take care of itself. Just make sure you're getting 1% better every day.
Xavion, it's been a lot of fun to watch you this year and the last few years. Appreciate the time here on Mountaineer Talk.
Appreciate you having me.
Xavion Brown kicking off our show here this evening. We got plenty more to get to on Mountaineer Talk tonight. Dustin Kerns joins us next. It's Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, and it continues right after this from Learfield.
Covering App State University wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our high-speed nationwide network. We have all the latest devices you want, including Apple and Samsung. We're so confident in the experience you'll have with us, we're offering a 30-day risk-free trial. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers. Go stay connected. Certain restrictions or conditions may apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
A winning team is more than the sum of its parts, in sports and in life. At Blue Ridge Energy, we share the same commitment to excellence as the Appalachian State men's and women's basketball teams. That's why we'll never stop working to provide the energy solutions your family needs and the community deserves. Blue Ridge Energy is proud to be part of the community, proud to be part of App Nation, and proud to partner with App State. Together, we're powering a brighter future. Go Mountaineers! We
We'll have more Mountaineer talk right after these local messages on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
App State's top-ranked online MBA is designed for you. It's a flexible, accredited part-time program that works with your busy schedule and allows you to earn your MBA in 2 years. Learn online from the same faculty who teach on campus with the unmatched personalized interaction and support we're known for at Appalachian. Your App State MBA is within reach, wherever you are in life. Take the next step. Apply by July 1st. At onlinemba.appstate.edu.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now for more App State Hoops talk, here's Matt Present.
Welcome back to the show. Head coach Dustin Kerns alongside with us. His comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. And coach, before we get to you, as we promised off the top, we're giving away some tickets here tonight. 4 tickets to the men's game against Arkansas State on Saturday, as well as the Wednesday game at home against Old Dominion. To the first person on Facebook Live to answer this trivia question correctly. So, the last regular season title, shared title for App State basketball was 2000, and that was in the SoCon regular season. App State went on to win the SoCon tournament that year. They faced Ohio State in the NCAA tournament, and the question is, where was that game played? So again, where was the 2000 Ohio State, App State NCAA tournament game played? Again, the 4 tickets to both games this week. Do you have the answer?
I think I have the answer.
And it's not because you looked at my sheet of paper.
No, I remember it.
All right, well, hold on to that. Don't look at the screen. We'll see if someone guesses it.
About an hour from here. I remember that one. Yeah.
All right, well, there's a hint. It's somewhat local.
No, I'm just saying I grew up in an hour. I was following App State as a kid. Like,
yeah.
It's not in the state of North Carolina.
Okay. It's a good hint.
Yeah. But I remember where it was. It was a unique
not too
place
far away
for
from Kingsport and not in North Carolina. All right, we got a correct answer already. Charles Haynes, Nashville. It's yours.
Yeah.
You remember that game?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's get into it. Xavion Brown was with us a moment ago, and he's just his personality is really infectious, and the positivity that he carries about him. How does that impact you and your staff and this team?
He is a great representative for our program and our university. Does a great job on campus, in the classroom. His mother, Kim Mays, is incredible, right? And she's just so supportive academically. The only time I hear from her is something academically, which is great. But he's doing really well in the classroom. He's a great teammate. He's an incredible teammate. I think he's one of the best defenders in the league and beyond. And he's just done a great job for us leading by example, and we're really proud of him.
What goes into being a great defender? I mean, obviously his athleticism is a big part of that, but what are kind of those finer things that stick out about the way he's able to defend?
Well, he is an incredible athlete, and so I don't know if many people know this, but the NBA Combine has been going on for 23 years. They do a standing vertical jump at the Combine. His standing vertical jump that we tested last summer would be 3rd all-time in the history of the NBA Combine. And so he's one of the best athletes in the country, right? But he also has a 6'9" wingspan. So that really helps him defend. But he can guard his yard. So a yard to your, we call it guard your yard, 1 yard to your right, 1 yard to your left. You got to be able to keep the ball in front. He does that at an elite level. He does a great job of playing without fouling, which is what you do as a good defender. And obviously with his athleticism, he's just able to finish possessions and fly around and get deflections and things like that. And so he just impacts the game. But he also impacts us offensively. Okay, you saw the Marshall second half, 2 simple back cuts that ended in dunks. And so he's one of our best playmakers. And so he's a big part of what we do.
How did you come across him? Most of the guys on your roster during your time here have been App State, local, neighboring states. He's from all the way across the country in Sacramento.
Well, first of all, if we want to recruit the state of North Carolina, we put a huge emphasis on that, local kids, things like that. But spent 6 years coaching at Santa Clara University and had some connections, and I had a guy send me some highlights of him, and I felt like I was watching Dominique Wilkins or something, right? Like, wow. And after the first season in the Sun Belt, like, we knew athleticism translates. Like, if you're a high-level athlete, you can play in this league. And so, pretty cool story. So I called him one night, and I grilled him with questions, right? Like, it was not me talking about App State. I was just asking him questions for almost an hour. And he was on West Coast time, so I remember I was upstairs in my house so the kids could go to sleep, and so, like, no one could hear me, but I was just really trying to find out the intangibles, learn his personality, things like that. Then our staff, we did a lot of, contacting his coaches, opposing coaches, things like that. Everybody we called said great things about him as a player and person. And so then when we finally made the decision that, hey, we want to move forward with this kid. Now, one of the things that when I first called him, he said, Coach, I want to get away from home, which is sometimes kind of rare. Like, I said, well, this is really far away from home, okay? And so when we made the decision to extend a scholarship offer, I FaceTimed him. And it was really cool. He was outside. I won't forget this one. He was outside at a park shooting at an outdoor court with a chain net by himself. And it was a really cool story, in the sense, like, that's what you do as a kid. When you're maybe 9 or 10 years old, you go out to the park by yourself and you're getting shots up and you just fall in love with the game, right? And so FaceTimed him, offered him a full scholarship by himself outside, and he called me back about 2 hours later and accepted, right? And so he's been good for us. As a freshman, 17 minutes in the Sun Belt Championship as a freshman on the court at the very end, and obviously he's been a big part of what we do. But he is a special person, and he's an incredible teammate. Our guys love him. He's great in the locker room. He's one of these people that upholds our culture, like I saw him leaving here, going around saying hello. Like, I didn't tell him to do that. And so he's just a great representative of our program.
Question here from Thomas Sherrill. He wants to know what the most insane feat of athleticism you've seen from Xavion in a game, practice, or otherwise.
Well, I've seen a lot of, fortunately, right? And so have you all during games. But I would say last summer, one thing that sticks out to mind, last summer he was back home, and I think he was like a 24-hour fitness or something like that. And I don't know why, but some guy challenged him on a dunk or something, and it went viral. I'm talking like viral. And everybody picked it up. NBA players were tweeting it, and so that was a pretty incredible dunk that he did it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the video, he literally jumped over a man and dunked.
Yeah. And so that was the first thing that stands out to mind.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a timeout. Plenty more to get to here on Mountaineer Talk. It's presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, and it continues right after this from Learfield.
Over to watch the App State game.
Of course. Go Mountaineers!
Now, the prime rib is over there. I flew in a gourmet wing chef from Buffalo, and there's my new 90-inch TV with hologram technology.
Amazing. And where's the Pepsi Zero?
Oh, I was so busy setting up, I kind of forgot the Pepsi Zero.
And I'm out of here. You don't watch App State hoops without Pepsi Zero.
App State basketball calls for a cold, tasty Pepsi. Proud sponsor of the Mountaineers.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals that take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional Southern vegetables, or our classic Southern breakfast with such favorites as scrambled eggs, local country ham, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, and more, you're sure to feel right at home at the Daniel Boone Inn. So be sure to stop by in pregame, postgame, or let us prepare your next tailgate at the Rock.
Mountaineer Talk is back in 60 seconds after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
You, nature lover. Ever heard of us? We're Boone, North Carolina. High up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, with vistas that go on forever. Adventure that never stops, and challenges you've yet to try. We've got every outdoor pursuit you can imagine, and cozy lodging. Explore Boone.
It's game day, a day where great food, friends, and family always come together. And bringing people together is what Harris Teeter is all about. We make sure you have the best and most delicious game day foods. Whether you're heading to the arena or making your own tailgate at home, Harris Teeter is always game day ready. And you can save big on your game day celebration just by joining EVIC. Sign up today and save hundreds of dollars per month on the items you love most. Harris Teeter, let's game day together.
You're locked in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, talking all things App State basketball. Let's rejoin your host, Matt Present.
Welcome back to the show. Hey Mountaineers, the official online store of App State Athletics is Alumni Hall. Shop the latest and largest selection of App State apparel, hats, Yeti, and all your game day gear, including brands like Nike, by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street, or shop anytime at appstatesports.com or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping experience. Continuing now our conversation with head coach Dustin Kerns, and the theme as of late has been the depth of your team and the way you guys have been able to pull away from opponents down the stretch in ball games. You added up your last 4 games, all wins. You've outscored teams by 48 combined points in the second half. How impressed are you with your team's conditioning and just the resilience of your group, no matter what the score is at halftime, to kind of pay it off down the stretch?
Yeah, I think a couple things go into that. I think that, one, the position we're in, we're getting everybody's best shot, which is the way it goes, right? And then 2, I think our guys have a kind of a refuse-to-lose type attitude. And so at some point we're going to impose our will, and we might have to impose it a couple times. But, I think at some point our guys kind of impose our will and says, hey, nice try tonight, but we're going to win this thing again. And so I think that's the sign of our team, though, and it's been different players. Terrence Harcum on Thursday, Miles Tate on Saturday. I thought Donovan McGregor had a good weekend. I thought C.J. Huntley had a good weekend. Xavion Brown made some big plays. Chris Mantis had 5 rebounds on Saturday. So it's just different people. Last week it was Jordan Marsh. I just think it's Trayvon Spillett. I can keep going, right? And I think you have to prepare. If you're playing us, you have to prepare for 9 guys. And that's difficult sometimes.
How would you describe the demeanor in the huddle kind of at those critical junctures in the ball game? In other words, I would think there probably have been some games over the course of your coaching career where you're down a little bit in the second half and you don't really get the sense that your team believes that they can win that game that day, and yet at least the vibe from sitting and watching is that every single game you play, no matter what the score is with 12 minutes left, your guys absolutely believe they're going to win that game.
Yeah, there's confidence, and they should be confident. You're sitting there right there a lot of times. There's not a sense of panic from anybody, right? And we know that our games are 40 minutes. We know college basketball is back and forth and can be a game in runs. And So there's not a real sense of panic from anybody. There's a sense of confidence, and I think it's a unified confidence. And certainly we've won on the road. We've won some big games, and so there is that is part of it too.
You talk about the unselfish nature of this team, and Neil Higgins had a question about, is that something that you and your staff have really instilled in the players, or is it more just kind of their makeup and what makes this team unique is that individual characteristic that they possess?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? Like we do have guys that have really good sports character, which means they believe in the team. They understand they're playing a team sport. They understand they can't do it by themselves. But also, in the preseason, we have a lot of speakers. We have we study other teams and programs and help them understand like what really, really wins. And at the end of the day, if App State wins, then everybody benefits. And so we show them like, because they all want to play at the highest level. They want to play the NBA, and we show them like how guys move up the draft boards because their team wins. It has nothing to do with the points they score. Like we put a lot of effort into that to really try to teach them and help them understand how like it really, really works. But also we do have guys that are naturally unselfish. We do have guys that are about the team, and that makes it easier. There's nothing wrong with personal goals, for our players, but they understand that the team goals, help those individual goals.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple minutes left. I want to talk about the seniors. You're honoring 3 of them on Friday night against Arkansas State on senior night. Donovan Gregory and Bryant Green, who have been with you and your staff all 5 years, and C.J. Huntley in his 4th year, and obviously he's been under you all 4 years as well. Just speak to those guys individually and collectively as a group.
Well, I think most importantly, they're all 3 going to graduate from App State, which is one of the top universities in the country. And CJ's been on the chancellor's list. The other 2 have been on the dean's list. And so they both have really excelled in the classroom. And then I think they've all 3 have, certainly been in a major part in changing the direction and course of this program. And that's pretty special for them, and we're excited to honor them on Friday.
Yeah. When you have guys like that were a part of the group that went to the NCAA tournament and won the Sun Belt just a few years ago, how important is it to this year's team down the stretch with those similar aspirations?
It's important, yeah. That those guys, all 3 of those guys were a part of that, and so they've experienced that. They understand, the little things that go into that, and so, but I also feel like that, they also have a kind of an inner drive and an inner desire to do something that's never been done before as well, and to finish, their tenure off as a true kind of, hey, we did it better than, quote, anybody.
Yeah, it would be a first outright title if you guys get 2 wins this week, first outright title since 1979. So certainly really impressive season, and Coach, appreciate the time and continued success.
Thanks for everybody that came out to the Ale House. Look forward to seeing everybody Wednesday night and Friday, back at home, and certainly, let's pack homes again. Let's get everybody there, and students and fans have been great, and let's finish it off.
Absolutely.
Go Mountaineers, take the stairs. Thanks.
Head Coach Dustin Kerns with us here on Mountaineer Talk, and we will take a timeout, come back, and shift gears to the women's side. Lexi Bugajski joins us right after this. It's Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge and continues next from Learfield.
A winning sports and in life. At Blue Ridge Energy, we share the same commitment to excellence as the Appalachian State men's and women's basketball teams. That's why we'll never stop working to provide the energy solutions your family needs and the community deserves. Blue Ridge Energy is proud to be part of the community, proud to be part of App Nation, and proud to partner with App State. Together, we're powering a brighter future. Go Mountaineers!
Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is an App State alumni-owned full-service geotechnical engineering, environmental, construction materials testing, and special inspections consulting firm based in Hickory. Maintaining pace with the latest technology and developments allows us to provide cost-effective services. The high number of returning clients reflect their confidence in our staff and our ability to provide quality results. Visit us at cvet.net to learn more. Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
We'll have more Mountaineer talk right after these local messages on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be first for teaching? First, we listen. First, we engage. First, we recognize potential. You have what it takes: the drive, the smarts, and the heart to be the kind of educator who changes and inspires lives. 2 million kids are waiting for you, but first, your journey starts right here. Be first. Be an App State teacher. Learn more at firstteach.appstate.edu.
Serving the High Country for over 40 years, Blue Ridge Realty and Investments is the #1 independent firm in the region. Blue Ridge Realty delivers exceptional results, handling a full range of real estate services, including sales, rentals, management, and development. Selling or buying? Put our trusted team to work for you. Reach us at 877-962-1986 and at BlueRidgeRealty.net. Blue Ridge Realty and Investments is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now for more App State Hoops talk, here's Matt President.
Welcome back to the show as we transition to the women's side of things and a big senior day win for this group over JMU on Saturday. Lexi Bugajski alongside. And Lexi, let's talk about your journey a little bit. First of all, you're from Wisconsin. How does App State originally get on your radar?
App State originally got on my radar when I traveled a lot to different tournaments and just kind of wanted to get recruited. And, they started following me on Instagram, and then I started following them back, watching their games and everything. And, yeah, it resulted to, like a official visit and everything. But, yeah.
What ultimately was the biggest selling point for you about this program once you got to campus?
Well, as a school, I always wanted to kind of get away from Wisconsin just because I've lived there my whole life. And when I got to campus, obviously it's beautiful. And immediately when I met the girls, it was just kind of, they were so sweet, and it was kind of like right at home.
You got away from Wisconsin, but then you got a chance to go back and play in Wisconsin this year as you guys faced off with Marquette. What was that like, just to be able to go back home and play in front of family?
No, it was great. I loved going back home and kind of just showing everyone, where I grew up and the colleges near me, and then seeing everyone at the game. Even though I was not playing at the time, it was just nice to see all the support, even all the way back home.
So originally the plan was for you to redshirt this season, and then injuries happen, and ultimately the coaching staff calls you in and asks you, can you go play? What was that conversation like, and just kind of the change in your demeanor going from I'm definitely not going to play this year to, oh man, I might be playing tomorrow?
Yeah. No, it was definitely a quick turnaround, but I don't know. I really enjoyed the process of kind of just knowing my role and originally wanting to redshirt just to, have another year to develop, but knowing that the coaches kind of trust me to perform on the court, it definitely, when they asked me, it was just one of the best news ever. Yeah.
And then your first really big game against Coastal, you come in, you hit a three, your first points in college. You hit one right before halftime, if I recall correctly as well. Just what was that like, getting in and hitting your first shots? Was it a little bit surreal going from probably not going to play this year to, scoring 9 points in that game?
Yeah, no, it was definitely surreal. Even like when I first walked on the court, I was just like, I can't believe I'm playing my first college basketball game. I thought it was not going to happen for another year. And then actually hitting shots that I took was just another level of surrealness and exhilaration.
So you talk about your role on this team. Obviously, you were asked to step up when players were out with injury. How would you describe what your role is now that you guys are a little healthier?
Yeah, I would say that my role is more kind of dialed in on defense and rebounding. I've been matched up with some pretty big girls, so pushing them back and getting rebounds is definitely one of my top roles. And obviously hitting shots when I have the opportunity. But yeah.
So you tell me you're a twin, and we actually got a question about that. How would you describe your twin relationship, and might there be any sort of twin telepathy?
Yeah, well, my twin is a boy, so we grew up kind of different, obviously. But yeah, no, it's great. He actually is also far away from home, so we have similar traits and everything. And when we were younger, we definitely had some twin telepathy. But yeah, I don't know. It's great. I love being a twin, even if it's a boy.
Going back to your game on Saturday, you guys pick up a big win on Senior Day. Obviously, you haven't been around this program all that long, but just with the seniors and how they've carried themselves and how you've learned under them, what did it mean for you to see them finish their careers at home that way?
It was great. The seniors have been such great role models on and off the court. They're always there for you whenever, drop of a hat. They definitely took me under their wing, rain support from them. It was just amazing to see them perform so well and be a team like JMU.
For you personally, where have you grown the most this year?
Personally, my ball handling has definitely improved. Throughout my career, through club and high school, I was more kind of shoot and drive, but my ball handling and changing direction has definitely improved.
Finally, you guys are on the road this week and then off to the conference tournament after that. What do you feel like is the biggest key to your success the rest of the way?
I think the biggest key to our success is to, well, definitely rebound and box out, but also just kind of hit them first. All the games that we've kind of either stuck with the team or blown them out, we took the first punch against them and performed throughout the game.
Lexi, appreciate the time and good luck on the road this week.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. Lexi Bugajski, our guest here today on Mountaineer Talk. We will take a timeout, come back with head coach Angel Elderkin right after this. It's Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, and it continues next from Learfield.
Covering App State, strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our high-speed nationwide network. We have all the latest devices you want, including Apple and Samsung. We're so confident in the experience you'll have with us, we're offering a 30-day risk-free trial. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers. Go stay connected. Certain restrictions or conditions may apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
You've already come to know UNC Health Blue Ridge as the home of compassionate and high-quality care. Now, with the opening of our $38 million cancer center this fall and a new 6-story patient tower next fall, UNC Health Blue Ridge has become the standard for growth and innovation. The tower project on our Morganton campus will have advanced critical care patient rooms and a rooftop helipad. UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward for the mountain region. Visit us at unchealthblueridge.org to learn more.
Mountaineer Talk is back in 60 seconds after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They are America's most trusted remodeler and the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics, because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
Mountaineer fans love driving Subarus from Modern Subaru of Boone. And when you buy with Go Modern, you can choose your vehicle, value your trade, pick your payments, apply for credit, even complete your entire purchase online. Or just do the parts you want and pick up where you left off at the dealership. Go Modern puts you in control so you can buy where you want, when you want, and how you want. Get started at modernsubaruofboone.com. Proud supporter of App State Athletics.
You're locked in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, talking all things App State basketball. Let's rejoin your host, Matt Present.
Welcome back to the show. Head coach Angel Elderkin is alongside us. And, Coach, a big weekend for you guys, beating James Madison at home on Senior Day. Let's start there first. Just what did that win mean for you guys emotionally and then also in the landscape of the Sun Belt?
Yeah, I think it was a big win because in the Sun Belt, you know, JMU obviously won it last year. They were picked to win it this year. Down there, we didn't feel like we had our best performance, and so every time we play somebody the second time, it's kind of like our get back game. And I thought we executed the game plan. Our team came ready to play, and I was just really proud because Thursday with Old Dominion, their defense is so good, and I felt as a coach, when we played Old Dominion JMU the first time, I personally take responsibility for letting Old Dominion beat us twice. And I said to the team right after the Old Dominion game, we will not get beat by Old Dominion twice. There will be a lesson in Old Dominion that we'll unpack, but we are going to move right on to JMU. And I thought our kids really they did exactly what I asked them to do with that. And I just thought we performed really well on Saturday.
I feel like all season long your Saturdays have been really impressive. Yeah. I don't know how much of that is just kind of the schedule and the given opponents, but I would think there's certainly a percentage of that is the way you guys have been able to adjust in that day in between from your Thursday game or your Wednesday game on some weeks. What has that in-between day been like for you this year, and just how you have turned the page and how you've made adjustments from Thursday to Saturday?
Well, first and foremost, with Athletic Director Doug Gillen here, be a goldfish. We had to show the Ted Lasso clip of let's be a goldfish. And if you don't know that clip, it's the smartest animal because they just have a short memory, So I know when I walked off the court from Old Dominion, I almost looked at him and said, just be a goldfish. We got to be ready to go for JMU. But I also think when you have a team of veterans, our seniors, who have gone through the Sun Belt, they know that it is a quick turnaround. And so sometimes your matchup on Thursday is significantly different than your matchup on Saturday. So you can't hold on to things. You've got to be able to move on. And I think we got into a rhythm, in terms of how we approached everything, what we do on Fridays, what we do on Saturday mornings. And I think it's just really worked for our team.
Let's talk about those seniors that you honored on Saturday. Faith Alston, Mariah Frazier, Taylor Lewis. What have they meant individually and then also collectively as a group?
Yeah, I think they all have their own journey. Taylor Lewis's journey was a difficult one. And this year, as a senior, she's playing her best basketball, and she is hot right now. But she has a confidence and a swagger that's just bleeding into our team that is really appreciated. And to see her stay with it, a lot of players, when they don't get what they want right away, it's, out the door or stop playing. She stayed with the process and really became an elite three-point shooter, and that was all her own work. And then Mariah Frazier, stepped on this campus as a defensive stopper, and she continues to be relentless defensively. She also came to this campus as somebody that was so invested in her academics, and she will, in 3 years, get a graduate degree from App State, which is just so impressive. It just speaks to how driven she is. And then Faith, I feel like everybody that's followed the program for 4 years, you've gone through the highs and lows of Faith Alston, and she currently is just playing her best basketball, and she leaves it all on the court every time she steps on the court, and that again just bleeds into our team.
She talked post-game about the fact that while it was senior day, she still does have another year. What have those conversations been like with her and how she's expressed wanting to come back for another year?
Yeah, we try not to talk about it, but her parents and myself have talked about her. They're like, will you have her for another year? They really want her to coach, and I think that she can be an elite coach someday. And so this is kind of like her 5-year mentorship with me in terms of coaching, point guard, extension of me. But we would be so lucky to have Faith Austin back in an App State uniform.
What are those coaching characteristics that show up in the way she plays?
She's a coach on the floor. So if an action beats us, she's the one in the huddle to not let it beat us twice. She's very good. She's very good with her teammates, explaining the game, telling them where they need to be on the court. She is just like, she's our safety in transition. And so in order to be really good in transition D, you've got to have somebody that gets back and they direct. And she does that at such an elite level. But you can't do it if you don't know the game of basketball. And then if you've seen her in the community with our kids at camp, she's just phenomenal. Just great energy, competitor, just so passionate about the game and just teaching the game.
All right, we got to take a timeout. Plenty more to get to, but first, future Mountaineers, if you're enrolled in one of App State's 9 partner community colleges, you can seamlessly transition to App State after you complete your associate's degree. This program includes guaranteed admission, dedicated advising, and coordinated financial aid programs. Check it out at aspire.appstate.edu. And we will continue right after this from Learfield.
Residents and businesses of the High Country with the highest quality septic pumping for more than 20 years. Triple T Pumping services Watauga, Ashe, and Avery County and specializes in both residential and commercial septic and grease pumping and Porta-John rentals. Triple T also has restroom trailers to rent out for special events. To learn more about all of Triple T's pumping services and to get on their schedule, make sure to visit TripleTpumping.com or by giving them a call at 828-262-5745. Triple T Pumping's proud partner of App State Athletics.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals that take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional Southern vegetables, or our classic Southern breakfast with such favorites as scrambled eggs, local country ham, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, and more, you're sure to feel right at home at the Daniel Boone Inn. So be sure to stop by in pregame, postgame, or let us prepare your next tailgate at the Rock.
We'll have more Mountaineer talk right after these local messages on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
You, nature lover. Ever heard of us? We're Boone, North Carolina. High up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, with vistas that go on forever. Adventure that never stops, and challenges you've yet to try. We've got every outdoor pursuit you can imagine, and cozy lodging. Explore Boone.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now for more App State Hoops talk, here's Matt Present.
Welcome back to the show, and while we know you're enjoying your time here at River Street Ale House, make sure to also check out Town Tavern Blowing Rock for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later have 19 flat-screen TVs for you to catch the game, and they also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the High Country, so make sure to stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip up the mountain. Head coach Angel Elderkin with us as we continue our conversation. And I want to go back to Lexi Bugajski, who was our guest earlier on in the program, and just the way in which she has put the team first this year, transitioning from a redshirt player into someone who really stepped up in the middle of conference play and kind of buoyed the ship as the season went along.
Yeah, I mean, I think in listening to Dustin earlier, he talked about, it's okay to have personal goals. but the team goal is most important. And when I went to Lexi, because I was watching her work out, we had a stay ready group, and she was playing pickup against our guys, and I was like, wow, she's really coming along. And then we had some injuries, and so when I went to her, it wasn't even a hesitation. She was like, I'll do whatever you need. And she's not been the player that is coming in my office when she doesn't play. You know, she understands her role. She takes advantage of every opportunity that's given to her. You know, we're relying on her right now, especially if Moffitt gets in foul trouble. We have somebody that's going to be physical in the paint. She can stretch the floor. But I just can't speak enough about her work ethic. When you're a freshman and you come in and maybe you don't get the minutes that you want, you've got to still get better. And she gets extra workouts with Connor. She's with her position coach every day. And so I just have a lot of respect with how she's approached this year and how she approaches her opportunities. But, you know, opportunities are an advantage when you're prepared. And I can't say enough. That's Lexi.
How did Wisconsin become a hotbed for you recruiting-wise? She's from there. Mackenzie Drought is from there. How did Wisconsin become a focal point for you, or is that just coincidence?
No, there were some connections with my previous assistant, Mark Cassio. He knew some high school coaches. And when you look at the state of Wisconsin, there's not a lot of Division I institutions. And so it's actually a pretty good place to go because the players are very skilled. They're smart. They can shoot the basketball. And so it is a place I think that we need to go tap into in terms of recruiting. They both came in with a skill set that we teach in terms of playing off of 2 feet, fundamentals. And so I've been really happy with both players that we've gotten out of the state, and I think it's something that we've got to continue to do.
By the way, there was one thing I did not ask you last segment that we need to go back to, and that's on Senior Day, you and your staff wore shirts with your seniors on them. Where did that idea come from, and how special is it to be able to celebrate them in that way?
Yeah, we did it a few years ago. And Marin, my graduate assistant who graduated manager, she was kind of the brains behind the operation. And so I went to her this year and I said, can we do the shirts again? And so she said yes. And then after the game, parents went to her and said, can we pay you to make us 10 of these shirts? The players were trying to take mine off my back. I'm like, guys, it's like supposed to be funny, you know. I'm not trying to, but it was great, and I love to celebrate our seniors that way. So look for us to continue the tradition. As long as I can keep Marin around, we'll have those T-shirts.
A minute ago, you talked about team goals being on top of personal goals, but yet personal goals can still exist. And you're 1 win away from your most wins in a season as a coach here at App State. Just the pursuit of that, along with just wanting to make this team better and wanting to surge and playing your best basketball at the very end of the season heading into the tournament.
Yeah, I think I told my team after JMU in the locker room that the seed to me isn't as important as how we're playing going into the tournament. If you look at us from February 8th on, we're 5-2. We're averaging almost 80 points a game. We've got kids with dynamic stat lines in terms of shooting the ball in the 50s and 40%. That's what I want to continue to keep going. You know, the wins will take care of itself as long as we continue to keep putting that product on the floor. We've got to continue to play with confidence and play with each other. We're sharing the ball better. There's just, like I tell the team, like success leaves clues. And so why do we win sometimes and why don't we win? And so making sure they understand that formula. And since that, you know, date of February 8th, this team has really bought into what it takes to win.
Well, and you talk about the shooting, and the three-point shooting in particular has been really good over this most recent stretch. And I was looking back at your game against JMU, 16 assists to 8 turnovers. And that's the best of any conference game this year. How much does that lead to the made shots?
It's huge. When we assist the ball, that was one of the success. Like, we're so much better when we assist the ball. We talk about going paint to great, trying to find a good shot. There's a good shot in the paint, but maybe there's a great shot. And we've become elite with the stationary catch and shoot threes. And so we've just got to continue to, everybody's like, oh, you got to keep shooting the three well. But it's how we get the threes. It's getting to the paint first and then finding the open player.
Coach, good luck this week on the road at Troy and Arkansas State and on into the tournament. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thanks for everyone for coming out tonight and for supporting us this season.
Head coach Angel Elderkin is alongside tonight. We'll wrap up the show right after this from Learfield.
You've already come to Ridge Ridge as the home of compassionate and high-quality care. Now, with the opening of our $38 million cancer center this fall and a new 6-story patient tower next fall, UNC Health Blue Ridge has become the standard for growth and innovation. The tower project on our Morganton campus will have advanced critical care patient rooms and a rooftop helipad. UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward for the mountain region. Visit us at unchealthblueridge.org to learn more.
Ref, how many more bad calls are you going to make?
Probably 5, 6.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm checked out.
Have you tried Starry?
No, why?
Starry's lemon lime flavor dazzles the taste buds and refreshes you back to life.
Thank you. Now, I got a football game to officiate.
Basketball! Man, I need a Starry.
Starry, proud to support App State hoops and helpful Mountaineer fans everywhere.
Mountaineer Talk is back in 60 seconds after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Come join us for the best dining experience in Boone at the Beacon. Whether you're looking for a special place to mark an important milestone or just a casual meetup with friends, we've got you covered. Our menu is purposefully created to feature local and seasonal ingredients, artisan cocktails, and the best cornbread in town. Keep up with our weekly live music schedule, rotating menus, and other fun events and happenings by visiting BooneBeacon.com or by following us on Instagram. The Beacon is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
A winning team is more than the sum of its parts in sports and in life. At Blue Ridge Energy, we share the same commitment to excellence as the Appalachian State men's and women's basketball teams. That's why we'll never stop working to provide the energy solutions your family needs and the community deserves. Blue Ridge Energy is proud to be part of the community, proud to be part of App Nation, and proud to partner with App State. Together, we're powering a brighter future. Go Mountaineers!
You're locked in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, talking all things App State basketball. Let's rejoin your host, Matt Present.
Welcome back to the show, wrapping things up here on this Monday night from River Street Ale House. Thanks to everyone who's joined us both in person and online, taking in Mountaineer Talk here this evening. Thanks to all our guests, and again, a busy week ahead. Wednesday and Friday this week for the women at Troy and Arkansas State. Right now, right in the thick of the Sun Belt standings, and they've already locked up that first bye, so they've made their way all the way to the second round right now of the Sun Belt tournament and can get a seed anywhere from 5 to 10. So there's a lot at stake this week when it comes to seeding. And again, it's at Troy and Arkansas State. The men here at home and App State Athletics would like to extend a special thank you to this week's game sponsors. Wednesday night's men's basketball game against Old Dominion is presented by Arby's. And then on Saturday against Arkansas State, it's Senior Day presented by First Horizon. Thank you to Arby's and First Horizon for your continued support of App State Athletics. The men right now in first place. They've already locked up the double bye and will play on Saturday in the Sun Belt Tournament. The goal now is to find a way to win the regular season. They haven't done that since 2000 when they were co-champions, and all the way back since 1979 were they an outright winner, and have a chance to do that at home here this week. It should be a good one at the home center. Hope you join us for that. Thanks to Alex Francis back inside our studios and to Matty Yates here at Ale House. I'm Matt Present. You can catch the show in podcast form tomorrow under the Nothing But an App State podcast umbrella. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.